So it's 2023 now, right?
Yeah.
You know, my grandfather did a great job of building up his legacy and his family legacy. I've had family members carried it on and things like that, whether it be business, everything like that, property development, everything, right?
Yeah.
And that's who I idolize.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, dropped out in sixth grade, ended up building, you know,
Yeah. Building
some
everything.
some
Yeah.
some stuff I haven't seen in a long time
Yeah.
by, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
us and stuff. So, for me, that was always my example. I
Yeah.
mean, I would hop in the truck with him and go to different, commercial sites and things like that, and
Yeah.
grew up really knowing how to work
Yeah.
hands
Yeah.
on. Do you think the men nowadays are weaker than the men back then, in a sense? And why? Like,
Yeah.
what do you
Ma-
think is
Yeah.
the reason for that?
I mean, society make men weaker now
What about society?
because you don't have the same burden of performance no more as a man.
Well, I don't want to cross you up because
Yeah.
you're my boy,
Yeah.
but we just talked about raising our sons and
Uh,
letting them know when you get into the real world, it's not sweet. You're not gonna have this. It's not gonna be sugar coated.
yeah. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
you're gonna have to actually have to stand on what you're actually
Yeah. Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. No,
So
for sure.
if that's still the case and that's still in effect,
Hmm.
which I'm pretty sure if you ask anybody, they're gonna say a man is supposed to protect, provide, do this, do that.
Yeah.
So, what about society if they still think that? Just kind of elaborate on why you think men are weaker today than as opposed to yesteryears, in a
Because
sense.
of the same thing I'm telling you. We thinking about us.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know what I mean?
It's a
That
whole nother generation
Yeah,
coming up.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
you're
whole
right.
nother generation, or even some of the dudes that grew up that's within our generation,
Yeah,
we're trying to portray it to the way we were brought up,
yeah.
and that's not the case of what's going on right now. So when I say the burden of performance, meaning when your grandfather's growing up, when my grandfather's coming up,
Hmm.
their idea of I have to go out and provide.
Yeah,
You know,
that was
like
definitely.
I have to go provide. It's not my wife's responsibility to provide.
Yeah, my grandmother never worked a job.
Yeah, you see what I'm
I mean, she
saying?
may have did like something random
Yeah, yeah,
because she
yeah.
needed to though,
Yeah.
and he hated it.
Yeah, you see
And
what I'm
I
saying?
mean, he was on the brink of probably like, "Hey, you go back in there. I'm divorcing
Yeah,
you
that's like because
because I'm supposed to be doing
it's a
this."
slap. It's because it's almost a slap in
In
the
the
face,
face. Yeah,
especially
it
for that
is.
generation.
Exactly.
Because that's when I say the burden of performance. Because at the end of the day, me and you will hold each other accountable for stuff. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, men
So
do
so
that all the
yeah,
time.
yeah. But
Yeah,
but
yeah,
but even now, a lot of dudes don't hold each other accountable. But even so, back then, you were definitely gonna be held accountable.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah, you know what I mean? If y'all house got foreclosed on or you lost the house, they not going to the wife and asking her why y'all lost the house.
No,
They asking you why you lost the house.
exactly,
You know what I mean? So
exactly.
so
Yeah,
that having that constant awareness of that this is my responsibility and how it's gonna make me look in a sense as a man if this dudes go downhill, that really is that's what I mean, the burden of performance.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now it could be something as simple as um a man might just feel like you have some men today, the world we live in, two incomes for majority of people you have to have. I like
Well,
it.
do you think? I feel like it's set up for that.
Yeah, yeah,
In a
no.
sense, in a sense, in a sense.
Hmm.
Don't get me wrong. Now, I'm not saying that's what I was brought up on
Yeah,
or what I saw before, and I'm not saying immediate fan, but what I saw as far as what you know my father figure in a sense
yeah.
did. I, I didn't know women worked for a long time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
I,
yeah.
in my mind, I was like, no, they just.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
do
yeah.
this, this, and this, and the food's good.
Mhm.
I don't have to touch a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
plate. I don't have to get my own drink or anything like that. But um, in today's world, that's kind of 50-50 is the theme, right?
Yeah, 50-50 is okay. There's
Hmm.
nothing wrong with 50-50 because in the world we live in, that's what you need right now, to be honest with you, especially when you're starting off young. But
I agree.
what
Yeah, yeah.
I'm saying burden of performance is the man doesn't feel like I have to find a way to alleviate my
At all
wife from
costs.
this. You know what I
At
mean?
all costs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Eh,
Especially
yeah.
if you don't have children at the time. I think it's something that you have to start playing into your mind as a man if you're in your mid 20s, early 20s, if you don't have kids. You have
Mhm.
to start thinking, okay, if I'm with this woman, and whether you married with her long-term time girlfriend, whatever it may be, you need to start saying, okay, how am I going to get her out of the workforce?
Exactly.
And that's what I mean. It might not be something where it's permanent. It might not even be something where it's full time. She's out of the workforce. But just how can I alleviate it? Because the thing is now, this goes back to the whole topic what we started at, in the beginning, the importance of fathers, everything is, and just the family dynamic is that once you start having children, this woman is going to want to be a mother. She's going to want to now play into her natural role as
Yeah,
a woman.
yeah, I agree.
So now if she has to sit here and go to work every day and struggle every day in the sense of having to worry about paying the bills or things not being able to, be taken care of,
Mhm.
it's going now
Take away.
it's going to take away from
It's gonna
her.
take
You
away,
know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what I mean by when I say the burden, meaning that it's a standard that a man needs to make sure he always has.
Yeah,
It's a standard that he got to make sure that he has. And that standard sometimes isn't always represented or exemplified the way it should. And like
I
I
agree.
say, one thing we always get caught up because we just think about us
We
or
do,
the dude, like we know
we do.
what we grew up in. So we just see us in the sense of, well, we this way.
But there are a lot of people that aren't like us,
That's what I'm
that
saying. Yeah.
didn't see certain examples
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
even put their mindset in that direction.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And I I can attest to this. If you feel like you didn't live up to a certain standard, you feel
Yeah.
like a failure.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you
yeah, yeah.
think that men now feel like failures if they're not at that position? Or and just to go off of the weaker, like, do you feel like men are weaker in a sense? But is it a thing where that they don't have the goals or the expectations set to a certain standard to say, no, I need to exemplify this. I need to be like, all right, this is my example. And if I don't make this, I'm a failure in a
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
think I say failure because we didn't get participation trophies. I don't remember. Did you ever come in last place and get a trophy
No,
growing up?
well, I ain't never come in last place neither. So what's
Well,
this?
no, I know that that's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. Neither did I, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know the
yeah.
people that did,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
remember
yeah,
getting
yeah.
trophies.
No, no,
If that makes
that's fair.
sense,
No, that's fair.
I never saw the person, whether it was little league football,
Yeah,
baseball,
yeah.
swim team, karate.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
care what
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
was.
No, no, what you saying?
They didn't get a trophy. So, I do you think it's more acceptable when you say like society's made men weaker? Do you think it's more acceptable in a sense to be like, well, I gave it a shot. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
gave it a try, like that's enough.
Yeah, yeah.
When in actuality,
Yeah, no, that's what it is.
yeah,
That's what it is now. Or the same thing like you saying with your grandfather is that you put the weight on the woman now.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean? It's
yeah,
like, I'm trying my best. Now you need to try harder. Or you know what I mean? Or maybe you need to try a little harder.
yeah,
But really it's no, you as the man need to maybe try a little harder.
yeah.
You know what I
I
mean? But
agree.
but that's why when I say like men are just becoming a little more weaker, it's just because we we don't have that same I don't want to use the word shame, but that's really what it
That's
is.
really what it
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
though.
yeah. You're not shamed for not being a man, for not fulfilling your responsibilities and your duties as a man. You're not shamed no more. You know what I mean?
W-
And when I say shame, I mean shamed by other men by saying, "Hey, man, what you doing?"
What you doing?
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, come on,
Tighten up.
yeah, we got to
Get
do,
right.
we got to do better than this. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah, yeah,
If like I said, if you're a young couple, I think both y'all should be working together. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Starting off, that's the way it's supposed to. But it's like if she doing 80 hours, you need to be doing at least 80 hours. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah, yeah.
you gotta be matching her or doing more. She can't be doing more than you. That's what I mean by that.